game.
Hey, he had the little box in there, directed by Moose.
Hey. We're going to go down too many roads here.
Hey, he said, hey, we stopped. He said, hey, we all stopped. Okay, your turn. Go ahead, talk.
Yeah, your turn.
I was just going to bring up the LTD and the home subwoofers in the trunk. That's how we rode.
This is a podcast about for sci-fi, right?
Shout.
Podcast.
Let it all out.
Sci-fi. Oh, sci-fi. Right here. Sci-fi. Right here. Tears for Fears. You guys see that? Funny picture.
Yeah, it's funny to me.
That's what it means. We're all getting old. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi.
Hey, Moose doesn't look 71. I'll tell you that much.
Do not.
Pretty good. Looks pretty good there. Oh.
I don't know.
Came out of nowhere. Just came out of nowhere.
What I was doing there, but it was kind of funny to me.
It's like you were rolling the dice.
I was roping the something. Or I was like, I'm roping. I don't know what I'm doing.
Reel them in.
Well, you should not doing the sprinkler.
Reel them in. Hold on, I gotta press a couple buttons here as we settle in, guys. Settle in. Hey, so I like that. I just got what you. I like that one.
I knew what he was doing.
Anyway,
hey, first of all, Moose, you want to start with go ahead, start with an uplift. What you got for me today?
I'm going to get a little recognition to Magic Mike for doing a post and a text that I didn't respond to. Thank you, Magic Mike, for thinking about us and putting in a post.
Hey, I second that. Good job.
Listen, I want to give the same recognition to Moose for trying to check out some possible collab with somebody else, and then we didn't respond to.
Thank you.
I want to give a shout out, both of you guys, just for coming to work today.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Just for being here.
Can
you be more specific on something that I've actually was it beneficial to another person from me?
Hey, I want you to know, I want to give him a shout out for recognizing the fact that we didn't recognize him in the first place. So there you
go. Welcome to the corporate world of Podcast for Sci-Fi. This is where we start every podcast with a recognition and an uplift or a shout out or a
pick your poison
term. We do it on
before we get started. I just want to ask you guys, how was your weekend? Did you guys have a good weekend?
Yeah, I was busy. I was working. What did you
have? Where are we going with this?
That's another part of the corporate world that we get sometimes before a conference call. Hey, before we get started, hey, Moose, how was your weekend? How did you
Hey, a question with no anticipation what they really want to hear.
What they really want to hear. This is a filler to make it seem like I'm interested in what you're about to say.
All right, so since we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk business.
We've heard.
I'm gonna go ahead and take attendance, Moose.
I'm here.
Magic Mike,
present.
Okay, let's go ahead. We'll start it up. Okay, Moose, the attendance is taken. Go ahead. You can go ahead and start it up.
Present.
Okay, you got it.
There you go. I didn't think it was Magic Mike. I thought he had proxy in it.
Yeah. I'll have to email somebody. Email him and let him know we started.
Oh man!
Somebody reach out to Magic Mike. Let him know we.
He's getting on right now. He's getting on right now.
Listen, I don't know where the email is, but it's probably in my.
You got caught up with a customer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's just finishing up with a customer. He's coming on right now.
Oh man, I wish I wasn't a bag boy. I tell you guys,
dust your shoulder off.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Hey, listen, it's probably the email is probably in my junk box. So,
ladies too. Go ahead, Magic Mike.
I was saying the email is probably in my junk box, so I just haven't checked that yet.
Hey, by the way, why don't you check your junk box, Game God?
I did. There's nothing there.
Check for Read Pop. Did you search that?
I did. There's nothing.
When did they send you one? When did you send yours? Come on.
The 20. Well, I got the update. So the next day, 24, July 24th.
Oh my goodness. Have you counted the days?
Yeah, tomorrow's the last day.
Oh, kidding me. Come on, man. Wow. What took you so long to put in the?
That means he didn't even do it that night.
Request.
No, I did it. I was on. I did it we were on the podcast. So as you guys were talking about it, I was busy.
He didn't hit send till like the next week. He goes, "Oh, I forgot."
No, that's not true. I got it on the 25th. Update.
Did you count back the days and see what's happened?
Yeah, I told you tomorrow would be the last day under the 21-day rule.
Jeez.
21 days. Don't worry about it. I'm there. I gotta get me a boar's head sandwich.
one or two of them at least.
That's right.
You can get that at the local Quickie Mart. So
Yep,
don't worry.
yep. And I'm gonna get me a chicken falafel and a pita bread. I'm already lining them up.
Brooklyn or Queens? Where are you gonna do that at? I'm just
Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan. Don't matter. Don't matter to me.
Right.
Bacon, egg, and cheese
It's
on a
all
roll.
the same company. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll.
What we're talking about, everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We just had to fill in some time here to make sure everybody had an equal opportunity to join us tonight. We're talking about New York Comic Con. Yeah, we'll be hanging out there at New York Comic Con in 2023. That's October 12th to the 15th, by the way. I don't know if anybody knows.
It is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's a Thursday through Sunday.
Sunday.
So if you're in New York or around the what did they used to say, or in the nearby cities or whatever. Yeah, no, I'm just saying they had a saying like come see us.
Surrounding areas.
Hang out. What'd you say?
Surrounding areas.
Yeah, this is a specific term they use on like TV or radio or something. Anyway, I guess we should start this.
You want to start this party, right?
401.
It started, right?
Or do you want to start it quickly?
Right.
Set it up on the left. Set it up on the left.
Set up on the right. On the right.
Set it up. Just set it up.
Oh.
On the left.
Oh, geez. This is what you get when you get the pregame tailgate.
Lots of chocolates.
Well, let's do this. I'm just going to give it to you. Here we go. Hey, you got to mute yourself. I can't do this alone. I mean, I can do this alone. Here we go. On the heels of episode 400 is now episode 401. Yeah, Star Wars animation. Is it going away? Is it coming? What's going on with that? Blue Beetle opened up. How did they do? Chris Pratt may be moving to the DC. Rebel Moon trailer, only on Netflix, or if you have Cinema HD, of course. All of that and so much more.
According to Wikipedia, a nerd is a person seen as overly intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. Many so-called nerds are described as being shy, quirky, pedantic, and unattractive. We're here to prove Wikipedia right.
Oh, look who they let in.
This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. If it's fantasy, sci-fi, gaming, movies, interviews, we're talking about it. We're talking about it. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, and here's your host, Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike.
Welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Episode number 401. Oh, yeah. If you joined us last week, you know how much fun we actually had. And now this week you get nothing. We're not going to have any fun tonight. So if you're not listening,
Going to be very generous.
Keep on scrolling. Just scroll it up. I got a question for you guys. How is it that when you tell somebody, can you scroll up, they scroll down? No.
I thought it was just me. And you got to tell them twice.
Scroll down. No, scroll up. Okay, push your finger up. Throw it up. How do you tell somebody to do something on a phone or an iPad, and you're telling them, swipe, maybe swipe up.
Listen, it's no different than getting Game God to point to unmute and follow. I mean, that's hard enough.
Yeah.
So
unmute and follow right here. Game God, I'm right here.
There you go. It was confusing.
Game God, I'm right here, right beside you. Yeah.
It was confusing.
I'm sorry. Look at Magic Mike.
Yeah, I'm watching you guys.
Yeah, now look at me. Now look at Magic Mike. There you go.
Oh, he's got it. Sweet.
Yeah, you did it. Oh my goodness.
Go give it to me.
Hold on.
Hey, Moose, don't give it to me.
Oh yeah, Moose is gonna give it to you. Hold on. Ready?
Yeah.
You did it. Yes,
he did it.
I went party.
Hey, there's some fun stuff to talk about out there. Ahsoka gets released today, right?
9:00.
Yeah. 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Well, guess what everybody's doing?
I'm watching it.
Oh, we're watching Ahsoka right now.
I'll be back, guys.
Yeah. We could have not
Hold on,
podcasted.
I'll be back, guys.
Yeah, thank you. We could have not podcasted and seen Ahsoka, but we miss out on all the fun. So we'll talk about Ahsoka next week.
Yeah. So, but I'm watching it on my big screen. I'm not even paying attention to you guys. I'm watching it right now.
It's on the third screen.
Hey, let me tell you, there was a time where there wasn't even a big screen there. Look how times have changed, man.
Look at time changed. Look at this. Look, I feel like I'm at Galaxy's Edge right now. Look
Hey,
at
the last 10 years for Magic Mike has been the greatest increase of his financial career.
I don't know about financial career, but it's gone down as I've started to collect.
And in the past 2 years, I've gained more bills than I ever have in my life.
Yes.
Here
they are.
Yeah.
So right now, Magic Mike is overrepresenting. We're overrepresenting us.
That's what I do. Yes, overrepresenting.
Yeah. See, it's contagious.
I need a button for words. Like what? Does that work?
Hey, you gotta do the whoop.
Sorry, Magic Mike. It's pretty loud. I know.
You just get it wasn't. I was just scratching my ear happened to do it at the same time. No, you just got to put in there unbeachable. Every time we say a bad word, unbeachable.
That's right. Spell it for me.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. Episode 400-21.
Didn't even get far. I have a couple of these. You guys ever use one of these? This is by Elgato.
Is that what we were looking for last week?
No. But this is a 4K where you could hook up a 4K camera. So it displays it as 4K. Now I have 4K webcams here, but this can be used for like a DSLR or whatever. Anyway, I'm like, would I ever really use this? I think this is like $60 or $70.
Okay, hold on. Now we're talking about an entirely separate podcast, meaning that.
Sorry, it's just you're staring at me, and I just wanted to know if you guys have ever used this.
No, what's funny about it is that we really could have a podcast, an entire episode about items that we have that aren't used. Would we really use it?
True.
So
that's true.
Because I do have an Elgato. I don't have the 4K. I do have one, and I do not use it.
Yeah, I have it right here. I end up using the one on the Mac. I have a 4K, but here, one of the problems is when we stream, they don't stream it in 4K, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. So you might as well just not have 4K.
I mean, I have an 8K TV. I still watch it in 720.
Exactly. I'm in 720 right now. I think that's the highest compression. Well, I think I can actually go HD, but I don't think the Apple, what is it called? Webcam is the Apple camera is 1080. It might be now. I don't know, but most cameras aren't. Most cameras aren't 1080. You don't stream it anyway.
Right. Correct. Even if they were,
just so you know.
I had to look at mine. I said mine says 1080 HD on the camera, and I'm looking
at the 720. Yeah,
720.
Exactly.
So, it's probably benefit for me. I don't want nobody to see me in 1080.
I heard somebody say they saw Oppenheimer on the what is it called, the
IMAX screen.
IMAX. They were like, you should never put your face in an IMAX screen because you can see every pore.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah, that's true. No matter how much makeup you use, no matter what you're doing, you can really see every line.
Makes you wish you were still in black and white.
No, looking back at old TV, I know this is derailing the podcast a little bit, but bear with us. It gets better.
I promise you.
It makes me think of old TV and just watching it on today's presentation. You go, we used to watch this like this. I don't remember it ever being like that. I remember it being clearer. It just today's TVs, I don't think it looks as good, but I really think on the previous years it looked a little better.
Well, no, but think about this.
Am I wrong?
To go down this road with you derailing the podcast. Well, we used to watch on a 19-inch screen. We used to think, oh, this is 19. This is awesome. I can't imagine watching anything on a 19-inch screen right now.
Right. Except you use your phone every day.
Hey, when he said 19-inch screen, the Airwolf sound came in at
yeah. Again, I'm sorry for derailing, but I think it was better on a smaller TV as well, because we have such big TVs that when you look, look, go back and look at your phone video from 2010. And you'll see it and you're like, wait a minute. Or maybe 2013 even, 10 years ago. and you look at it and go, "Wow, that looks really grainy." But it did not look like that then.
It was on my camera.
Well, listen, what's weirder is you said 2013, 10 years ago. That's what's weirder to me. It doesn't feel like it should be 10 years ago that it was 2013.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the podcast stuff. Thanks for indulging us as we talk about and go down memory lane. Blue Beetle was introduced this past weekend. This is the new movie that we've seen trailers for leading up to it. And the last trailer I saw for it, I'm like, this has gotta be good. This looks terrific, with the exception of like one thing. Well, it came out. And I'm sorry, Game God, I'm scrolling through social media, like a social media, I don't know if you know this, but I'm also the part-time social media manager for the podcast. And I happen to see like some verbiage, and so I saw some numbers, and I'm afraid to say there's no surprise. I don't think.
I want to read I want to have a line here. I want to read what it says here.
Okay.
It says Warner Brothers DC Extended Universe is truly struggling, and a large reason for that is the studio's public declaration that the franchise is on its last legs. What do you, when you hear what I just said there?
My first question is, how much did it cost to make Blue Beetle? That's my first question.
Yeah.
This is what's going to verify to me whether they're on their last leg or not. How much did it cost to make Blue Beetle? And I'm going to guess at that cost, because that's a better guess than the opening numbers, because I actually saw something from the opening numbers that I would not have guessed. I would have been really high. So
go ahead,
I'm going to say Blue Beetle costs $150 million.
Okay. And what about you, Magic Mike? What do you got?
Well, since it was all CGI, I'm going to guess about 20 million.
No,
I'm kidding. but we talked about that, right? All being CSI, CGI.
Yeah,
that too.
NCIS, Law and Order, SVU.
I would guess around 175, actually.
Okay, see, he's looking it up, Game God.
Yeah, he is.
I'm looking at you guys.
He is. Well, so unfortunately, I guess inflation got the best of you guys. It had a modest $104 million budget.
Okay. Well, that's because there were no really big stars in it that I was aware of.
Yeah, that is true.
But with that being said, it needs to get a global earnings of $208 million to recover its cost.
They're never going to make it.
And that's just to break even.
Yeah, they're not going to make it.
Right. So with that being said,
how much was the opening number?
So, do you want a domestic number, or what do you want me to give you?
More? We always talk to.
We always do domestic.
Okay, so domestic. I can't do this. This is bad.
Yes,
I can't do
it.
I can't do it. Like domestic.
I'm gonna say 26 million.
26. What do you got, Magic Mike? I mean,
Moose already knows. He knows.
25.4 million domestic. I think Netflix makes more money than that on a weekend.
I think I made more money than that last. I
spent more money on this room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't understand what's going on. It's 24. The last thing we spoke about was that the last trailer looked great. We all said it.
Yeah,
this looks great. I mean, as a matter of fact, I want to go see this. Right? When did it came out after The Flash? It was after The Flash it came out, and we talked about it because I just talked about The Flash, and so we're like, oh man, this is definitely gonna kill The Flash. Man, I don't think it's gonna kill The Flash.
Didn't even touch The Flash. Yeah.
Hey, 25.4 domestic. Another 18 million from 64 international territories.
Oh my goodness!
For a global debut of just 43 million. And we all know that you're looking at a 70% drop on a movie that's just average at best.
Yeah,
from 1 week
and
into
that's
the
an average. Yeah, so this one definitely is going to tank. It'll barely pull double digits next weekend.
I'm hearing a lot of different excuses and reasons. As a matter of fact, the last one I read was the weather. By the way, the weather. Well, they had a hurricane come through California this past weekend.
Clearly, that
had to contribute to this, right? Even though the opening weekend was 2 weeks. Was it this weekend? Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're talking about such a small number of people that would be affected by that over the United States. But here's the thing: we did have a concern. I know that we talked about the animation piece and it being animation piece, the CGI piece, and it being almost all CGI.
Yeah.
Might as well be animation, right?
Yeah.
I know somebody who went and saw this movie. And me and this person hardly ever agree upon movies. As a matter of fact, they thought The Flash was great. They thought Quantumania was great.
Nice.
You
need
and
to have
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we need to have this person on the podcast because
Yeah, who are we talking about?
I need to argue.
Yeah, right. And they said this was bad.
Okay.
This was bad. So if they're telling me that when they like the Flash, that's a problem.
So I wanna go ahead and pile on because that's what I like to do. So another headline I read was, at this rate, would anybody show up for Aquaman 2? Right? Because that's the last.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah. So
Really?
the last of the, what do you want to call it? The old regime is Aquaman 2, right?
Are they really doing Aquaman 2 still?
Yeah, Aquaman 2 is set to come out in December.
Oh, set to come out.
Okay. Yeah. So here we go. Blue Beetle falls short of the low openings delivered by two of the franchise's biggest bombs already. So 2 bombs, it's lower than 2 bombs already.
Wow.
So Bird of Prey and Shazam Fury of the Gods, which by the way lasted 2 weeks in the theater and went straight to, I think,
Did it really
HBO
just
Max.
2 weeks?
It didn't last long.
No.
It didn't last. But if it was a month, it was too much. And then it also was underneath James Gunn's other movie, Suicide Squad, 2021.
So
right?
there's a common denominator here. James Gunn might be the common denominator.
Well, and so the question now becomes,
with bombs.
Exactly. Do they even put out Aquaman 2? Because no one is going to be investing in a universe that's dead already.
Dead. Yeah.
Right. So at this point, they should just go straight to streaming, stick it on HBO Max and call it a day. If you get some viewership, they are already starting with the reboot, James Gunn's reboot, Superman Legacy. That's the one in 2025. So no one cares. I think no one cares. I think that's what it comes down to. No one cares. It doesn't have no relevance. There's nothing you can put off it.
Like you go back and if you rewatch any of the Marvel MCU stuff from the Avengers on up to Endgame, you're going to have the feelsies. And those were impactful. And what we're seeing now from DC is not impactful. And we're hoping, we're begging them to be impactful.
It's
James Gunn wasn't involved in Blue Beetle, was he?
No, he wasn't.
Right.
But what he's saying is a common denominator. It was Suicide Squad, which bombed, and then he's coming into. So
was he involved with Harley Quinn or no?
No. Suicide Squad, not Birds of Prey.
I know. I just Birds of Prey was one of the bombs. That's why.
That's correct. Yeah.
So it's funny, Moose, you bring that up. This past weekend, just so happened to, I always throw something on as I'm going to bed just to put me to sleep, right? And I put one of my favorite movies, and I put Infinity War, which is a mistake. I end up watching the whole thing, right? Children of Thanos. It's like, so I end up watching the whole thing. And I'm like, man, this movie's great. Man, it's still great. Great.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And then I said, you know what? The next day I said, just because I'm going to throw Endgame in, right? And I throw Endgame in. And I thought I would fall asleep. I watched the whole thing. It was like 2:30 in the morning when I finally said, man, I got to get to bed. And that was the end of the movie. And I'm like,
hey, so real quick, what did you feel? How did it feel when you realized that you were wrong in your initial statement about
wait a minute.
I'm just curious of how you feel about that.
So, hey, first of all, I didn't say that. Okay, I didn't say that.
He never said that.
I never said that. All right. I did agree it wasn't great, but never said that. But no, I watched it, and when I watched
it, how do you feel about it now, though?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you
7.5.
Okay, good.
Can I answer the question? Okay, thank you. What I'm going to tell you is that, man, that was a great movie. That was a great movie. It was a good movie. Like, and the reason for it is that I look at what's out now, and we've seen the best that Marvel, the MCU, has to offer. And I think we've actually seen the best
DC, right?
Yeah, and I think you can stop making superhero movies at this point, because I don't think we're ever going to get to that point again. I don't think I don't think the backing, the knowledge, I don't think the fans have any more faith. I think we've reached the pinnacle, the top of the mountain, right? And all we're doing is hitting the way down. And I think we came down faster than we went up, because it's done. It's done.
Welcome to the last episode of Podcast for Sci-Fi. There'll be no more superhero movies. Listen, I unfortunately feel like I agree with you. I don't want to. I really don't, because, and I guess it happens with a lot of franchises, right? It even happened with Star Wars. You know, you had the best.
Hold on, that's not necessarily true. But keep going.
That sounds inflammatory.
Are
But
you
go ahead.
saying that
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 were better than 4, 5, and 6?
Hey, that sounds, but it's not dead. I don't think it's dead. Star Wars.
No. I just think
do you
what you're
really
saying
mean-
is that we won't see that again.
Are you really saying 4, 5, and 6 are? Maybe I missed what you said. Did you say are 1, 2, and 3 better than 4, 5, and 6?
Correct.
No, they're not.
Right. Exactly. So my
And
point
what
was
about
is that
7, 8, 9?
Star Wars had a lull.
What, 7, 8, 9?
What I'm getting at is that Star Wars had a lull. They went down. They've come back. What I'm saying is that I think we just have to give it some time. Marvel, they've had their high. Give them some time to let them come back
I'm
before
gonna
we
tell you right
say
now.
stop making superhero movies, because those are the words you just used.
No.
Let me tell you something.
If
Go ahead,
Marvel comes out with another movie, which they will, it's not gonna do. It won't tank like the DC movie, but I think it's gonna tank. I don't think it's gonna be anywhere close to what we saw with MCU phases 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
So
I don't think it's ever going to get back to that glory. I agree with Game God there. I think you're crazy.
So you think they should stop making them? Is what I'm saying.
I'm saying that what are you going to do to revitalize, rejuvenate the excitement of superhero movies? What are you going to do?
That's what I'm getting at. Give them a chance to do it. That's my point. Don't just say we're going to stop making them.
No.
Give them a chance to do it.
No, we're not giving them.
You don't want to give them a chance.
What we're doing, but we need to put it on hold so people can build up a
anticipation again.
Anticipation, right? As some kind of desire to want to see it, because right now the desire just isn't there. Why?
Well, I'm not disagreeing with the hold. Game God said stop making superhero movies.
Agree.
Those were the words.
But here's why I say that. If I need to define it a little bit more, we are going in there now with the hope that it's a decent movie, right? Where if you went during the peak, right? Infinity War, Endgame's the peak. Let's say Endgame's the peak.
Okay, Endgame is definitely the peak.
Right?
Let's not say we know that was the peak.
Yeah. So when you went in there going in to see Endgame, you said this can't be nothing less than a blockbuster. This can't be. I need to come out of here with memories that are equivalent to my firstborn.
And
right?
you did.
And you did. And you were talking about it as you walked out. You talked about it the next day, 2 weeks, 2
months. The water cooler, people are still talking about it. Right? And then from there, it was Mount Everest and to the bottomless pit of after that. It was just,
we jumped off the mountain in a square suit, acting like we knew what we were doing, and we didn't know. It's so.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that, but what I'm saying, there's a difference between
stop.
Difference between saying pause. Well, Moose, you said put it on hold. So we're gonna put it on hold. We're gonna stop, because if we're stopping, we're not gonna see a superhero movie again.
No, that's not what anyone said. That stop.
That's exactly what Game God said. Stop making them
until we build the anticipation. Rejuvenate the industry. And then you can bring it back up. Because
that was a statement after. That was a statement after I said give them a chance. Absolutely agree. Let's hold on, but don't stop making them.
Whatever.
No.
What would you like to make in the meantime?
Stop is stop. To me, stop is stop. Stop isn't, it just means stop right now. It means stop right now.
Oh, no. As you add the clarifier, it means stop right now. No, stop means stop. Stop right now means stop doing it right now.
The clarifier in here, Magic Mike.
He said stop right now.
I didn't say stop. I said pause.
And the real manner is that a stop is a hard stop right now till you build up anticipation. Because what movie would you like to continue to see in superheroes? What movie would you like to see?
I said we should put a hold on. Game God said stop making superhero movies. That was the end of the statement when he initially said that.
I didn't say stop forever.
You said stop making superhero movies.
Forever though.
I said stop making superhero movies. I did say that, but I didn't say stop forever.
Yes.
Stop right now. Stop. You can't. You
gotta stop right now. I agree. Let's stop now.
All right.
Put it on hold. Come back to it.
But hey, tomatoes. Okay, I got you.
It's not. It's a difference.
Potato. He does this all the time. Game God. This is exactly what he does.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So with that being said, to Moose's point, if we stop, you build the anticipation up, whether that's 5, 6, 10, 12, whatever the amount of years. I'm saying in our lifetime, if they don't stop, we've seen the best they've had, and we won't never see another thing. We'll never see another good movie. We'll be talking about Endgame and Infinity War when we're 90 years old to our great grandchildren. Talk about I was there when Thor picked up, when Captain America picked up Thor's hammer. I was there. You know,
I witnessed it in person.
And we treat Infinity War and Endgame like it was actual history. Like we talk about it like it really happened in real life. I can tell you that. That's how popular and impactful these movies, and we'll never get that again. I'm telling you.
Well, but it's still we won't. But that's the other piece too. You still have to do it right because X-Men has gone away and come back a couple of times.
Wait. It
has not been what we wanted at all.
Hold on a second, Moose. I have to adjust my microphone here because this conversation is ludicrous. Let me tell you something. X-Men came out, and I would argue that they had maybe 2 good movies. Good, just good. Not great.
Well, if you let me finish my statement,
no.
Hold on. What I said was they've gone.
You said what you said, and you didn't say.
I wasn't finished talking before I get interrupted. What I said was X-Men came back a couple times, and we still haven't gotten what we've wanted. That's what I've said. So it doesn't even matter if you give any time frame. It still has to be done right.
Potato.
It has to be done right, no matter how much time is there.
He's trying not to be caught the same word.
Yeah, hold on with that. So do you want him? Hey, do you want him?
Finish my statement? I never finished my statement.
You want him to stop?
No.
Whatever.
I don't want to stop. I want him to come back.
Keep going.
Right.
Keep making X-Men. Okay, I got you.
I didn't say that. Come back right. So do you not want an X-Men movie? Do you want an X-Men movie? A good one?
Stop.
Oh, you know what? More X-Men movies. Okay. I'm with you.
I didn't say forever. Okay. But at the end of the day, if we keep doing what we're doing now, every year, every 2 years, something comes out and it's not great, you're just not going to go anymore.
And you'll never have anticipation. You never revitalize it. You never rejuvenate it. And
hit with another R word.
Yeah, well, Botox.
Renew. You never hit a renew. You never renew.
You Botox it, and that's not good. So that's the problem. That's the problem where we're at. And I think he's right. I think you got to stop. And listen, I'm a fan of superhero movies. I love it, except when it's not good, and then I don't like it.
Here's a perfect example. Here's a perfect example on Blue Beetle as we move on here, right? It got a tomato score of 77 and it has an audience score of 92, right? This is the reason why you stop, because nobody wants to go see it because they think it's going to suck.
You said an audience score of 92, which is another issue, right? Why can't we get? Does it feel like that we're not getting real reviews sometimes? Because we hear this a lot when we talk about the tomato meter, when the audience score is this or the tomato meter is that, and I feel like there's a disconnect.
Well, it's early. It's certainly early.
Well,
that's true.
Here's the thing. What I'm saying is that even if it's gotten a great review, the fans, the people are tired of going there and wasting their money anticipating a garbage comic movie, a garbage superhero movie. So they're not even going. So it could be good.
Actually, you're anticipating a garbage movie.
Yeah. So I'm going to wait till it streams. I'm not going to spend the money in the theaters. I'll wait till it streams. I'll wait till it comes out on VHS and I'll watch it on VHS.
Will you?
Yeah.
I love VHS. As a matter of fact, I still have a lot of VHS tapes and I need to convert over, by the way. All right, let's you said Magic Mike, first of all. I'm gonna come back to DC in a little bit, but you said Blue Beetle might as well have been a CGI animation. And I think I would argue that animation make more money than superhero movies at this point in time.
Yes.
Most animations. Not all, some. And then they just shut down an animation studio overseas just recently in, I forget where it's at, Singapore?
Singapore, yes.
Yeah, they shut down the Lucas film, or the Lucas animation for that did all of the
Clone Wars, I believe?
Clone Wars, yeah. So they're essentially laying off or trying to help find jobs for everybody else there. 20 years it's been there, and now they're saying
300 people, by the way.
300, yeah. But they're saying now because of tough times. What? But animation is making more money than regular films.
So here's where we have to go with this. What does this mean for Disney? We've been talking about this lately about, they're pulling back here. They're doing some other things here. To me, I don't see, where I think where you're going, Moses, I don't see the need to, why would you shut this down? Do more. Do more of what you've done in the past, and let's keep doing it right.
That's
But
the key.
instead, you're pulling back.
Yeah.
Is the strike hurting them?
For
Is-
animation,
not
no, because
animation.
well, listen, but you can't voice act.
Yeah, you can. You find a new voice actor.
Yeah,
I'll do
well,
it.
you
Absolutely.
talk about you
Hire
find
me. I do it for you right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, podcast for scabs. We're here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because that's what they call someone who crosses the line. They call them
I'm
a
a
scab.
scab. Yeah, I'm a scab. Yeah,
so, you know.
get down on it.
Yeah, so
Um,
but you're right. You know, I think that the strike is hurting, right? They're saying that the strike hurt Blue Beetle because they couldn't promote it. They couldn't come out and promote it.
that might be partly true, I guess. That didn't stop
hey,
TV
another
ads.
2 million. Another 2 million.
That didn't
because-
have, yeah, I was gonna say that didn't stop the TV ads.
Yeah. So I agree with you. You know, you're shutting down an animation studio here that, first of all, pumped out awesome, amazing content.
Yeah.
I mean, without the Clone Wars studio there, we wouldn't have Ahsoka. We wouldn't have some of these shows that are out right now, and we wouldn't have some of the spin-offs they're planning, right? You wouldn't have the excitement. You wouldn't have the what do you call it? The toys, the merchandise.
for sure, yeah.
You wouldn't have the 50 different lightsabers that Magic Mike has on his wall right there. So, you know, but when you look at all that, man, I think that's a bad move. That goes up there. That's almost as high as shutting down the Star Cruiser, Galactic Star Cruiser.
Almost as high.
They should have kept it open. I hate to bring up old news. They should have kept that bad boy up. Cut the price in half. I would have bought tickets.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that this is a bigger deal than the Star Cruiser.
Well, it's a bigger deal because, well, it's about the same because you're losing people. People are getting displaced.
That part,
Yeah,
I'm talking about for what they produce. I think it's a bigger deal to lose this.
We can argue it because I think that if you had the Star Cruiser open, you open the doors to new people to say, "Oh man, this is really great," and connect like the realness of what it could possibly be rather than an animation piece. That's why I would only give it the edge. I mean, I'd love to get that feeling like I'm in a Star Wars movie environment, universe, whatever, as opposed to watching an animation. Animation, you watch it once, twice, it's just a watch, right? But an experience is always with you.
This is true. Yeah, this is true.
yeah, I disagree with that. But all right, let's go back to DC. Chris Pratt is rumored to be going to DC from
Why?
Because James Gunn. That's why.
That's exactly right.
And actually, in this one, I got to tell you, when the report came out that this might be who he's playing in the DC universe, I thought, in the DCU, I guess, I thought, wow, this fits him.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of this particular character. As a matter of fact, I remember seeing comics with this character in there, and I would read the comic, and he's narrating this comic through, and I'm like, come on, get you somebody better than the. Anyway, Booster Gold is the character he's rumored to be playing in DC. This reminds me a lot of his character from Guardians of the Galaxy, from Star-Lord, at least what they've kind of put Star-Lord out at, and I could see him playing that same character basically over in DC, and it's called Booster Gold. Just a lot more narration,
Well, what powers does Booster Gold have?
I don't remember. As a matter of fact, they weren't much, but I don't remember. I mean, look it up.
Again, rhetorical here. Was he a mutant or anything like that? Or was it? I think he's.
No, he wasn't a mutant, but he had some. Yeah, he did have like some super strength. He had speed. He had a few things, but nothing was.
Hold on a second.
And so, just the reason why I'm saying it, Moose, to your point, I actually did have to look it up. And I remember him singing in the Justice League Unlimited. I was just like, okay,
right.
I remember him, but not a whole lot. And I had to go back and look because he has this little like egg-shaped robot that follows him.
Right.
And the part I remember as I go back to look at it, I was like, okay. And now I remember the biggest thing that stuck out to me was his humor.
His humor. Exactly. That's why when he would narrate the comic, he would be talking about the comic in the comic. Kind of like how you would think of She-Hulk would be. With the She-Hulk comics, he was that for DC, so he was the comedy relief, and I just never got that. I just never liked that character because it didn't do anything for me.
But first of all, he has really no powers. He utilizes technology to let him fly energy blast, force field. He's his suit. So he's a bootleg which version of Iron Man.
He's a
right?
Timu Iron Man.
Yeah, Timu. And his abilities is peak athletic ability and fighting experience. Hey, Moose, that sounds like a role you can get into.
Sounds like me, yeah.
Listen, there are a lot of characters. Come on, in the DC and Marvel universe that have those same.
Wait. Name one off the top of your head, real quick.
Robin.
Batman.
Oh, wait a minute, that's true.
Robin.
He got me there. He got me there. Green Arrow.
Green Arrow.
Yeah, that's exactly. So I'm saying there's a lot of them out there.
Red Hood.
Nightwing.
Joker.
All right. Enough. We got you.
Hey, wait a minute. That's all DC characters.
Yeah, all DC. All DC.
But I have no interest in this. The character, to your point, Moose.
I don't.
He. If I were to watch it, it's because Chris Pratt's in it. Let me check what he's doing.
That's exactly right.
I would just want to see how he did his Booster Gold. And I'm twitching it. I'm not gonna pay for it. I mean, I'm not gonna watch it.
Is this coming out exclusive to Netflix? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And also Cinema HD.
Yeah, there you go.
So if you have
not a sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah, not a sponsor. Although there's plenty of people who want to be an ambassador to the podcast.
Just answer your text.
Just answer your text, man. What's wrong with you?
Man, you never know what you're missing out if you don't get the email or the text.
All right, let's move on. How about Rebel Moon?
What is that?
Oh, it's on Netflix or Cinema HD if you have it. Rebel Moon trailer has come out, and at first I'm like, well, first of all, this is a Zack Snyder.
It's Zachary. Yeah, you know him as Zachary. We know him as Zachary.
That's what I call him. Zack Snyder film, like almost every role, like directed, written, screenplayed, grip key, executive producer. Everything was Zack Snyder on this. But I was expecting. I don't know what that was. What sound?
That was Magic Mike laughing.
I was trying to turn off my laugh because I was still going as you were talking with your grip key.
Oh,
that's his mechanical laugh.
My thing with that
Booster
is
Gold laugh.
Booster Gold. Comic Relief, 1992. I don't. At first, when I heard of it, I'm like, "Is this Star Wars? What? I don't know anything about this. Star Wars? Because it looks like Star Wars. Star Wars. And like almost has lightsabers, but not really. Mm-hmm. So then I'm like, oh no, this is Thundar the Barbarian. Oh no, wait, no, it's not. With Ookla the Muck.
Wow.
Yeah, I could go on and on.
Listen,
Cavalier.
I really wasn't sure where this was going. It looked kind of cool, but then again, it didn't. So I'm like, oh, this is Mad Max meets Star Wars meets Thundar the Barbarian. Is that fair?
That may be accurate,
well,
but I'm going to tell you this.
Go ahead.
So Rebel Moon, it started out actually as when Zack Snyder pitched it to Star Wars and Lucasfilms before it was sold to Disney. So this was kind of based on that. It was going towards that direction. And I think they had to go away from it because they weren't going to pitch it anymore. They weren't going to get the approval for it. So I actually like the feel of it because I feel it does feel a little like Star Wars. It feels like as Game Guy would call it, the Western, the space Western. And it has a lot of those things in there. So I'm looking forward to seeing it actually. I thought it was pretty good.
So I watched this trailer as well, and first of all, it's inspired by Seven Samurai, Star Wars, and Excalibur. So that's what you guys are all hitting it on the head right there. A group of warrior rebels who rise up to fight against the Mother World. Right? Sounds like a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So and to go to Magic Mike's point, yes, this movie was pitched back in 2012, and before Lucasfilm before it was purchased by Disney. Anyway, so when I saw this trailer, it definitely felt like it could be a spin-off to a Star Wars, right? As you watch the actors that are in it are incredible. I think you got Charlie Hunnam, Dimon, not gonna even try to pronounce his last name, but he was in Gladiator. He was in Captain Marvel. He was in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, he was in Blood Diamond. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Blood Diamond. Yes. And then Sophia Botella, which was in Kingsman, She was in Kingsman, amongst other films. So those three right there. Oh, and Anthony Hopkins. Who can forget?
Oh yeah,
Anthony
you hear
Hopkins?
the
Oh yeah, that's right, because he's the narrator.
Yeah. So you look at the cast like, oh, you can't mess this up. You really can't mess this up. Great special effects based on the trailer. Definitely a world that you want to kind of like, I want to know more, and I want to know more.
Mhm.
What I can see this becoming, if not done correctly, is just a generic fantasy, right? And Disney has a couple of those. What was that? Jack something. There was a Disney.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the one they always promoted it as before Star Wars.
Yes, long black hair, the
Yeah.
deserts and stuff like that. Space.
Oh, what was
You know
that?
what I'm talking about, Magic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moose,
Oh
while
my
you Moose find
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
And
Yeah.
so, but it can happen where when that came out, the special effects was amazing. The trailers made it look like some epic, movie. Came out, did like Blue Beetle numbers, and said, you know what, we're gonna scrap the 4 sequels that we had and never went anywhere. But it was supposed to be the new franchise that came out and was gonna really build on it, and it just died on the operating table.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the difference, to interrupt there, Game God, the difference now is that you have the Netflix outlet.
John Carter.
Yes. You have the Netflix outfit now, or a way out of it versus going straight to the theaters. You can use Netflix as a medium instead of spending they still spend a lot of money to do it, but as of right now, we just have a 2-part movie, right? I guess if you want to call it that, a 2-part movie.
Reminded me of Dune. I'm like, oh, this is Dune part.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So as you read this, so you see the trailer, and then I read this here. Hopkins voices a powerful 500-year-old android, Jimmy, who has lost his way after the assassination of the royal family he served. Right there, I'm like, okay, let's give me more, right? So that's what I'm saying. So it has the foundations to say it can be epic, right? It has the trailer that says, oh man, this kind of look epic. It looks like could be a Lord of the Rings in this world, right? But if the story is garbage, if the story is not believable or plain, or the acting is, I can't imagine the acting be bad, right? It won't go nowhere. Netflix or not, it won't go nowhere.
I feel like that after this conversation we've had throughout this whole podcast, and we're going to talk about Rebel Moon now, I feel like that we are jaded at this point. Everything we're talking about that's come out and that is coming out, it feels like that we're so hesitant to go.
Should we stop?
Should we stop? No, just take a break. Just take a break. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Take a break.
So no, but so as you keep going through this, there's 7 planets in this film. They've created 4 languages with a linguist. It has all the makings of something epic, but so did John Carter. Right? And Disney signed their name on it. I know this is not a Disney thing, this is a Netflix thing,
right? But
Disney signed off on that. So you can't help but to go into this with that feeling in your gut, like, okay. And because it's on Netflix, we will be willing to say, okay, it's good. I accept it. I will allow it, right? Because it's on Netflix. But if we didn't have Netflix and it went only to the movie theaters, would we say that?
Accepting? Yeah.
So that's the piece there.
That's a good point, Game God. That's a good point. I'd like to hear Magic.
First one for the year.
Magic Mike's a rebuttal to that, because if he doesn't want us to stop, what does he want us to do?
Oh, I said pause. In case you're not sure what that word means, it means to take a break, to stop for now, not just stop as a word.
Oh, so stop. Right? Oh, I see.
No, stop for now. There's a difference.
Stop is the derivative of pause.
Well, I'm going to look up the definition.
I would say it's the other way around.
The definition of stop.
But in Game God's world, it's a derivative. So
there are many derivatives in God's world.
In Game God's world. So listen, some good stuff. Gamescom, as you look there and get yourself situated, Moose. Gamescom started today, and there is a ton of games announced, trailers, new Assassin's Creed. That's been announced. So there's a lot of stuff in the works. I'm excited to see what's coming out during the course of this week in terms of anything exciting. Marvel Snap has been put onto the PC, so now you can play it on PC in widescreen mode.
There now? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of good stuff.
No, you know what? Until they start giving me like Series 7 cards, I'm not interested.
I'll trade you. I got them.
All right. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. There is always time to pick up where we left off next week. So at this point, we're going to stop, or as Magic Mike would say, we're going to pause. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to come back again.
I was just leaving. Da-da-da-da.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
You've been listening to Podcast for Sci-Fi with Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike. Nerds have more fun. If it's anything sci-fi, we're talking about it. We had fun, and we hope you did too. We have to split, but we'll be back soon. In the meantime, hit us up at podcast4sci-fi.com. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Come to life.